Hello there. Right, good morning. It's a bit of a damp start today, but last night the sunset was amazing here. I'll tell you where I am. I'm at my other half parents in Wiltshire, Sammy's parents in Wiltshire, because my mum's just had a knee op, so she's convalescing. We've come down to help because that's what we do. And last night I went out for a little walk with the camera and I got a picture of this. And that is a goldcrest. That is Britain's smallest bird. Now they live right opposite this. I'll just do a little spin round. Right opposite this, and you can't really get a feel for it, but this is the back end of Longleat. It's the River Wylye, I believe. I'll put all the details in the comments below. But this is like a dog walk over it. It's by the Wiltshire Wildlife Trust, and they come over and they do a lot of work over here. But it's a lovely nature reserve, so I'm taking it back. I'm looking all over the place at the moment because I'm trying to spot these little goldcrests. They've got a right distinctive little call, very high pitched, as you could tell by the size of them. I mean, they're wee little birdies, smaller than a Jenny Wren, so that's how small they are. There is another one, a firecrest, which has got more of an orange ruff to its head, orange crest, and that's a firecrest, and that's slightly bigger. So the goldcrest is here all year, and the goldcrest comes, the firecrest comes and goes, but the goldcrest is here all year, and it's along by this river. Now normally they will like pine trees, a pine stand. I do get them in my back garden in sunny Essex, but I've not seen them this year. But they like pine trees. Now where I see them was right on this river. It's the River Wylye. I'll get you some shots of this and put some shots in. But I thought I'd just come over for a little mooch, really. Whoop. Come over for a little mooch, show you about, see what else I can get some photographs of. So I'll get some B-roll and show you what it's like here, but it's absolutely beautiful, and hopefully I'll get some shots of some nice wildlife. I've got my cotton carrier, my 90D, the 100 to 400 L series Canon lens. I'm on about 1,000th of a second, and I've got the ISO and auto today because it's really sort of dim and it's easy for snapping away quick shots. But I'm right where they were yesterday. I can't hear them. If you're looking for birds, go onto the internet and go onto the RSPB website. There's a couple of apps you can get, and find the app that gives you their call. Look at the bird you're looking for, if you know it's in the area, and learn the call, because you'll hear the call before you see the bird. Especially these ones, because they're tiny. So I'm going to have a little look around, as I said, and I'll see you in a minute if I get anything. See you later. So I'm just following the river down, and the bird song here is intense. Don't know if you can hear that, it's really quiet. Bird song's intense, I can hear so many different types of birds. The river's running really fast, it's dangerous this time of year. So you just have to be a bit careful down here with your dogs jumping in. It's deceptively fast. for the old canoe, but habitat wise it's fantastic. The Wiltshire Wildlife Trust, apparently they're down here all the time, every at least every Tuesday, doing some tree surgery and keeping the paths clear and picking up litter, etc. There's a face looking at me. Mossy mush. Picking up litter, etc. And along here, in this river, there are trout and kingfishers along here. It's a beautiful river. Lovely. So I'm keeping my ears open for that little kingfisher pip. And that little shrill sound of the goldcrests. If I don't get them on this walk, I'll come back over here a bit later on when it quietens down. When I see him yesterday. But plenty of robins back here, but it was intense back there, the noise of the birds. Just have a little creep about, just to see what we can see. I think just up there on a little log is a song thrush. Looks like with my eyes from here. Just coming out on the path there. See what if I can get some photographs, a few birds, and put me away. Okay, so I don't know if you can see these cones. These cones are from a deciduous tree, which means it drops its leaves in the autumn and winter time. Okay, it's one of the only trees, if not the only tree, but probably one of the only trees that has a cone as a deciduous tree now. These trees are alder, not elder, alder. And this is a stereotypical place you'll find them on a riverbank. They like to grow with their feet in water, their roots in water. Sometimes you can see the red coloured roots in the water, crawling into the water to suck up as much water as they can. Now this tree's fantastic. It's wonderful for carving. There's a grey heron right there. I'm going to take a picture of it in a second. It's great for carving. And also the good thing about it is once it's submerged in water it doesn't rot. So Venice is actually supported by poles of alder. It's such a tree steeped in mythology. I'm going to see if I can get a photograph of that. I don't know if you can see it over there. 1 second. And that means pick up after your dog, put it in the appropriate bin, and don't hang a little black plastic bag in a tree, you idiot. Oh, that's my pet hate. They go in there. Rant over. Back to the video. Okay, so Smallbrook Meadows Nature Reserve. Just on the other side of the road to where I just was, where the river was. You can pause this and zoom in if you're on your iPad or whatever, but it seems that we have otter, water vole here, and lots of other lovely things. So I'm going to see if I can see some sign. Always close gates after yourself. Always. Part of the countryside code. It's like a little boardwalk. It'd be great to bring the kids over pond dipping here. Fantastic habitat. And they've got a toad watch here as well. In the spring times when the toads are on the move, there's an actual sign on the side of the road of a toad. And have people come down in their droves on a vigil helping the toads backwards and forwards across the road. How cool is that? This is a beautiful habitat, beautiful wetland habitat. Little tiny wren. Let me see if I can get a photograph. I could spend hours here with a little net. Right, so bottom left here is some water vole sign. Now, looks like they've been feeding on aquatic snails. I'll have to have a little check up about that. But they've been feeding on some aquatic snails. There's a little tiny midden mound of aquatic snail shells. And just behind it is a little mound, very stereotypical of water vole feeding. And there's a run all the way along the side of this little pond I'm standing at. But yeah, that's water vole sign. So there's definitely water vole there. So again, bottom left, going to centre, it's a little midden mound of aquatic snail shells. How cool is that? So that little mound behind it, that's where it would sit. A bit of a vantage point out of the water and feed and put his cast off shells onto that little midden mound in the middle. Very cool. So we've got water vole sign. Now we need some otter. It's a red squirrel's arch nemesis, grey squirrel. Just popped round the other side of the tree. I see him run into it and then give him a little call, and round he popped. There's a little muntjac in here. Just had a face off with him. See if I can get some shots for you. Very tiny squirrel above my head. Small deer, introduced, comes from India. Solid hair, so it's not a normal sort of cold weather deer hair where it snaps, it's hollow, it's proper hair. If that makes sense. Little tusks, little horn. It's just in there. Let me see if I can get some photographs because I won't hang around long. Just like that. Just like that, gone. Small deer. Size of a Springer Spaniel, I suppose. A normal size Springer. Nice little spot. Just, I walked down the track very slowly and calmly. Looked into that blackthorn over there. Quite a dense scrub. Blackthorn. I think a squirrel caught my eye on there. I was looking at me. So I hope you like that little encounter. And see what else I can find. I hope you enjoyed that little walk with me. Sort of on the way back now. Ain't done too bad. Saw a goldcrest, but I was right off in a bush. It seemed to be in a blackthorn. But there are a couple of big tall evergreen trees here. But yeah, it's really nice here. I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, didn't see no otter sprain, which is otter poo. It's quite early because they eat a lot of fish and it's got a sort of a musky, fishy smell to it. Sometimes you get some fish scales in there and bits and bobs, but never seen nothing like that. Nice to see the water vole feeding station. That was nice with the aquatic snail shells sitting there. Just had a good old feed on that. Nice high protein food for the winter. Got a heron, egret, that little muntjac. Just as I looked round, it was staring at me. So it had already seen me. So as I was rabbit into you, he decided to turn around. So I got my camera up, got a couple of pictures. You can see what I mean anyway. Nice little deer. So again, hope you've enjoyed that. I'm almost back to base now for a cup of tea, and I'll see you later. You've seen my videos before, please whack a subscribe, that really helps, and like the videos and see what other ones I'm coming up with. Got a couple of good ones coming up, so keep your eye out. All the best, take care, see you on the flip side. Bye.